better than birds. That's based on the scripture verse Matthew 6:26. Today we are going to do something a little different. This is a rock. It's not an ostrich egg or anything like that. It's just a rock. So I like to, every now and then, I like to paint rocks to put in my rock garden to kind of mix in with the river rock that's there. They just kind of peek out here and there, just to add some little interest. I do have some here, and I did clean them up so they're not all muddy. But this is the kind of thing that these are the kind of things that I make, or I do, just are very, very random. So, I guess I can put them to where you can see them there. So today, and you can see that they're all the glossed. So what I usually do is I put a coat on there, like Mod Podge or polyurethane, something like that, so that whenever I go to paint them, I'm not using quite as much paint, because the paint will soak into this the stone a lot, and you're using a lot of paint to cover it up. So I'll put a sealer on there, and then I paint whatever I want to paint, and then I cover it with UV resin, just so that it kind of lasts a little bit longer than it would without. So I'm sure that they're going to get chipped and get ruined, but I think this was the first one I did, and it's a few months old, several months old. But it's just something I've started to do. I kind of enjoy having the little interest in my rock garden, just a little interest there. Whenever you walk past it, you don't just see river rock. Anyway, so this is what I'm going to do today, and after I get it painted and all that, I was going to put on a little sticker. Like I said, I like them to be very random. I don't have really a theme on any of them. So this one, I'm going to use one of these stickers, and I'm thinking I'm going to use this one. I think that one's really cute. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and get this. I also washed them. I didn't tell you that, but I do wash them just so that I'm not messing with dirt and all that stuff in my Mod Podge and paint and all that. So it just makes the art side of it a little cleaner. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this with Mod Podge so that we can get started with the fun part. Okay, so as you can see, I put on a pretty thick coat. I want it to be very, very coated. Let me see if I can spread this a bit. There we go. So I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll do the other side of it. So I'm going to put it in the resin curing machine so that the heat can dry it, and then I do the whole rock. That way the paint sticks everywhere, and it doesn't soak in and doesn't look bad. So let me get this dried, and then we'll get the other side done, and then we'll start the fun part. Alright, so I have Mod Podge on both sides. You can see that it's still kind of drying on this side. I've got a couple, but it's fine. It's dry enough. I'm not going to be painting on that side, so it'll be dry by the time I get around to that side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just some acrylic paint. I picked out, I don't like to use white, because if I'm going to use it outside, if I'm going to be putting it in my rock garden, then the sun's going to be hitting it, and it will yellow. So I like to try to stay away from white, straight white, if possible, as much as I can. I have used it, but I don't like to use it as a background, definitely. So we're going to use blue, so that if it does yellow, hopefully it won't look too bad, and it'll just maybe turn green. So we're just going to dump some out on a little tray here. Since I have the Mod Podge down, it shouldn't take much paint. Should not take much paint at all. And I do like to just kind of like go around the edge and make myself a very loose line to stop at, so that I just don't keep going. 'Cause I want to be able to hold on to it and not get paint on everything. So if I have myself a stopping point, then it's a more of a visual stop that way. Now I have seen where some people that like to paint rocks, they will fill in, like, I don't know if you can see that divot there. They'll fill that in with like plaster or something like that, and it makes the rock completely smooth, like ceramic or something, and it's very pretty that way. But I don't know, I'm not too worried about it. I'm painting a rock, so if I was wanting something very smooth like that, then I would pour some ceramic resin to make it. So anyway, that's my take on it. I will say that they do look beautiful. They look a lot more finished, I guess. But again, this is for my rock garden, and it's not a gift. And if I was doing something like that, maybe I would make it near perfection. But I kind of like the imperfection of the rock. So, all right. Well, there's that, and you saw that one decent coat of paint on there covered it pretty good. So I'll probably put a second coat, just because once it does dry, you can see like little holes are popping up. When it does dry, there's going to be a lot more of those holes. So I will probably put another coat on there. So let me put this in the curing box, the resin curer. And when it is dry, we'll come back and either do another coat or put the sticker on, or whatever the next step is. All right, I'm back. The blue paint is dry. So now we're going to do a second coat. I don't know if you can see. This. A lot of cracks. Can you see those cracks? So, and sometimes, I guess, I'm not really sure what causes that. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So it may be because of the curing machine, maybe. I don't know. I don't always use the curing machine unless I'm kind of not in a hurry, but impatient. And the rock is really warm, so maybe it just cooked the paint. I don't know. Didn't quite get enough out. Alright, so that is ready to dry again. And when we come back, we'll, what I'll probably do is add some UV, a good layer of UV to it. That way the sticker will actually adhere to that, because it's not going to adhere to this. So, but I'll add some UV so it'll have something to stick to. And, so we'll be back. All right, so I'm back to put on the UV. So this is pretty self-explanatory, easy. Just since I'm not done with the whole rock, I'm just going to put it the same place that I put the paint, because I will come back and I will paint. I usually, not always, but I usually do paint the bottom of the rock too, just so that, I don't know, just so it's finished off. That's it. I'm going to put it into the curing machine. And of course I'm not putting it on the double-sided with the, I don't want to break that little, for one thing I don't think it'll fit on that tray, but anyway, I don't want to break it anyway. So I'm just going to put it on the one-sided UV. And alright, so I've got this cured. Now I'm going to try and put this little cow on. I'm going to take my gloves off. Don't want to mess that up. I don't know if this is a UV DTF. Okay. Looks like it is. Alright, I'm going to get this close to me so I can make sure I get it lined up. Okay. I don't think it's a UV DTF. I think it's just a transfer sticker. It's because it doesn't have a removable top, so that is all it is right there. So now I thought that maybe, let's put you out here a little bit, that I could add around him some of these like little flowers. Got a bunch of different kinds of flowers. So I just thought maybe we could yeah, put them all the way around it. And I'm going to use I think I'm going to use super glue since it's going to be outside. I am going to cover the whole thing with some UV resin, but I'm not going to cover these. I'm just going to go around these. So I think I'm going to use, what did I just say? Super glue. So let me go get that. I'll be right back. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off on just going around the outside and almost like a frame. A loose frame. I'm not going to put it really thick, condensed, and that way I just opened this. That way if I want to add more I can. There we go. Put one down here. Try to keep it somewhat symmetrical. That doesn't move too much. I don't think I want any blue ones. At least not the light blue ones. I'm definitely going to have to put some UV on that because he's wanting to lift from the... If he keeps doing that, I'll have to slice or put a little slit in it. Okay. So there's that. So what I'll do is I'll put some more in there, and then if it still looks empty, I might put some more into here. But so let me go ahead and finish these, and we'll see what that looks like, and then we'll decide on whether we want any on the inside. So I've added the flowers. And then I found some of these butterfly wings. And so I'm putting them together and making little butterflies. So I was going to put some of those in and out of there. That's a little, I'll show you, it's not difficult, it's just a little, I don't know, frustrating, I guess. I might put a couple more throughout here, and then I'll come back and what I'll do is I'll paint on the UV. I'll pour it on there, but I'll paint it on with my my UV paint polish bottle brush. That way I can get around everything, because I'll cover these and I'll cover the sticker, but I don't want to cover the flowers because that's just, they're going to look blobby. So I'll go around them. I want them to be UV'd in, but I'll go around them. So let me add some more butterflies, and we'll be back. So I finished the butterflies. I only put a couple of them on there. So now we're going to use the UV resin and get last coat on here. I think I do need to, there's a couple spots on there I'm going to cut because they're still wanting to lift. I don't know if you can see that, like right, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see a little bit there. So I don't know if you can hear all that, but there's some construction going on behind my house. I'm sorry. Sorry for the extra noise. Okay, looks like those are going to lay flat now. Okay. So, oops. So I do want to coat up against the flowers. I want to make sure that they are all coated up against them. I just don't want to go over top of them because the resin will make them look globby. Kind of glob all over them. So I'll put that into the curing machine, the resin machine, UV curing machine, and
all right,
we'll be back when it's finished.
We are finished. This is a completed rock. It's got the UV resin on it, all the butterflies, all the flowers are on there. I did paint the back just a green, just acrylic green. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. I appreciate any of your comments. Thank you for staying through the whole video. And remember, God loves you. You are worthy and you are valuable. I'll see you on the next